Yo, this your boy Mr. Drake Swan, and you're tuning into Swan's Purview. And this is my very first episode of Swan's Purview. And in this first episode, I would like to introduce to you who I am and why I decided to create this channel. Who I am. I am a kingdom man. I am a husband. I am a father, a son, a brother, a nephew, and a cousin. And within the category of who I am is what I do. I am an accountant. I am an author. I am an Army vet. I am a massage therapist. I am a life coach, and I am a creative. Now that you see that I have and do wear a multitude of hats, right? Let me tell you why I created this channel. First, let me go back and tell you that I wanted to be an author ever since I came off of active duty in 2010, right? However, life was lifing, right? Undergrad got in the way a little bit, I guess. Like grad school got in the way. Life was just life, man. And things just never happened the way I wanted them to happen. Right? Sometimes I would just sit down and the pen wouldn't write, or the laptop wouldn't allow me to type anything. However, in 2023 though, September to be exact, 2023, God saw fit, and it just happened. It was what it was. I started writing, and it was the most exhilarating feeling ever, right? I felt as though I had climbed Mount Everest, and in the process of writing and having the feeling of climbing Mount Everest, I decided to keep writing. So before I had even published book one, which is titled The Wandering King, I had already started on book two, which is also titled The Wandering King, but the subtitle of it is called The Journey Through Rumination. Book one was published in January. Book two was just published a couple of weeks ago. In the process of writing book two, I already started on book three. I had already started on book three, which I won't share the title of that just yet. With the Wandering King series, there are going to be 5 books total in that series. And again, going back to 2010, I knew I wanted to become an author. The time just was not right? It just, life just didn't allow for it to happen, which God will. I'm thankful. I'm blessed. I'm not complaining at all. I'm happy and I'm satisfied that He designed it to happen in the time that He designed it for it to happen. With that said, I got to go back to 2020. In 2020, I was living in Pennsylvania, and I was working at the VA hospital there as a budget technician. A budget technician is basically an accountant on the budget side of the house, basically. Just focus with the budget. And I had decided that I wanted to become a life coach. And the program, the course that I chose was supposedly it could take anywhere from 6 weeks to 6 months to complete this course, right? And I spent a little over a year and a half in Pennsylvania, and my intentions were to take my time in isolation and complete that course and do some other things and come out a new person, a new man. And not gonna lie to you, it didn't happen, right? in doing that course, I didn't see it to completion until 2023. It took essentially 3 years for me to become a certified life coach from that course. And I'm not complaining about that either. Because the way my life was happening at that time, I needed every bit of what was going on, plus everything I was doing with that course had to be, for me, dealt with in the time it was being dealt with, in order for me to digest it the way I needed to get what I got out of it, how I got out of it. The best way I can put it is the crucible of life had been perfected at the culmination of that course with those 3 years that I needed to be in. So I'm thankful. Yeah, thank you, Jesus, for that. Like, I won't complain at all. Then to go back a little bit further to 2015. In 2015, I spent some time in Augusta, Georgia with my godfather. I call him my uncle, right? And he took me to a bookstore. Now, he didn't know this at the time, that I was an avid reader. And I consumed content, even at that point, like nobody's business. But he didn't know in 2010 I had desires to be an author. He had no idea. We didn't have this conversation, and up till today, right now, he still doesn't know that him taking me to the bookstore helped me in some regard. So let me explain. In 2015, he took me to the bookstore and he said, Drake, essentially, these are the keys that will unlock pretty much any and every door in the world. You know, there's somewhat of a saying that says, like, you can know some things, but until you know, you don't know. Or to better phrase it, timing is everything, right? I think in 2015, I was maybe 26, 27 years old. Might have been 20, I don't know, mid-20s, right? And I pretty much had lived life. Like, I was married, had children, and pretty much had life figured out, and I did not. Him saying that essentially put me on a course to get to today. And that brings me to why we are here today, right now, right? Right now, I'm introducing you to Swan's Purview. And what Swan's Purview is, and what I hope it to be, is me reviewing books, but from the perspective of manhood, from middle teenage years until up to the middle age years of manhood. So basically from 13 to 35 or 36, because in a couple of days after this video, I will be turning 36 years old. And I know I've been told I don't look 36. I think I look 36. I got the gray hairs to prove it. I got the bald head. I mean, but hey, with that said, I feel younger mentally, right? And spiritually than I ever have. I feel just as spry as I did when I was 18, 19 years old. If I can get my body in the physical shape that I was when I was running and jumping and doing all those things that I was doing at 18 and 19 years old, I would be in the best shape of my life. Which brings me to, we'll talk about that later on. So, also, what I would like to do with this channel is not just me reviewing books from my perspective, but bringing in other authors and other guests from time to time to give their perspective on different books. and different life lessons they've learned over the course of their journey or whatever, right? Also, to actually exactly tell you some of the things I will be doing is finding books as they pertain to young manhood, right, or adulthood or whatever, coming of age, and finding the lessons that I choose, right, and talking about how we can, you and I, implement them within our walk and our journey into manhood, or in our current manhood day to day. Yeah. And then there's the other things I would like to discuss on the channel, which is just, like I said, from time to time, my health journey, that is. You know what? Let me say it like this. So earlier today, I talked about I am a husband to be. So that means, technically speaking, at some point, I will be getting married. Yes. So there's a date set, and maybe you know, maybe you don't know. If you don't know, I will reveal the date later on in a different video. If you do know, then you will know that it is going to be called Operation Swan. Essentially, you will have different glimpses of my version of Operation Swan, what I'll be doing to essentially take my health back, right? I want to live the healthiest, best version of my life I can for me, myself, and my family. And I will be showcasing some of that here on the channel. Sometimes what I eat, sometimes what I do in the day, from workouts here and there. Yeah, a number of things. And I'm deciding to bring you, my family, along. Speaking of my family, so when I first introduced this channel, I said, yo, this your boy, Mr. Drake Swan. Yo is our term in my family, speaking of my brothers, that we use to say hello. You know, sometimes you as brothers, you say, what's up? How you doing? My guy. Well, me and my brothers, we say, yo, when we get on a phone call to each other. Don't ask me why we do it. I don't know. So you, as my new brothers, yo, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, cheesy. I don't know, but that's welcome to the family. Speaking of the family, you don't have to just be a male to participate in this family. You can be someone's grandmother, someone's mother, someone's aunt, sister. The content that I'm going to post can be relevant to anyone's brother, uncle, cousin, son, nephew. Yeah, it's beneficial to everyone, but I'm gearing it towards young men like myself. I thank you all for watching, and if you have watched to this far, I thank you for that. I ask that you share, like, and any of the other buttons that are on the screen. All of my handles are behind me. I thank you again, and